So, happiness. I want to talk a little bit about happiness. And I think I should preface this. Is that the right word, preface? I don't know. Anyways, I think I should preface this with a little explanation as to why I'm making this video. Throughout my entire childhood, up until I was around 12 years old or 13 years old, I've always been extremely happy. Like, very rainbows and sunshine type happy. Like, never sad, always saw the good side of things, always positive. You know, that type of thing. Even when times were tough. And then when I turned 12-ish, or more like 11 and a half, I moved to somewhere, and that somewhere, which I will not disclose to not offend anyone, was very depressing. Not just because the place itself was depressing, but also because I had a lot of family shit going on. My parents were not too well in their relationship. My brother had some mental issues going on. I had some problems at school. I had a tough time making friends. Even though I did make a couple of pretty good friends, which I'm sure they're going to remain my friends for the rest of my life. But I digress. And that sadness, it went away a while ago. And recently I've been starting to feel it slowly crawl back in. So today in school, during a test, because I had already finished the test because I'm a big brain, 10 million IQ. I'm just kidding, the test did not go very well. I wrote down what I consider the 7 pillars of happiness. This applies to me, and it probably applies to other people, but not everyone. Basically, I'm saying that some people might agree with this, but definitely not everyone. I don't think everyone will agree with this or will be able to apply this to their lives, but this is what for me defines happiness, and I feel like it was important for me to write these down, so I really have an idea of what makes me happy and how I can maintain my happiness. I don't know if this is in any specific order, I don't remember, but I'm just gonna read them one by one. So the 7 pillars of happiness. Number 1 is comfort. What I mean by this is just basic necessities, right? So you have a roof over your head, you have food, you have a bed, you have this might be a little bit controversial, but you have like a phone or a computer, stuff like that. You have friends, which I guess can kind of be considered a comfort, right? Number 2 is responsibility. And I mean this in 2 different ways. One is responsibility as in being a responsible person, being a mature person. And the other, which is like the main message I'm trying to give out when I write responsibility, is you're responsible for your emotions. There's a book that talks about this, really good book. It's called the Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. It's really good. I don't remember who the author is, but I'll put it on screen right now. Really good book, would recommend. And there's a chapter where it says everything is your responsibility. And it gives a pretty good example in the book, which is, let's say you're a father of a son and your son gets ran over and dies. Obviously, that's not your responsibility. It's not your fault necessarily that he died, but it's your responsibility to control your emotions and your reaction to that, right? I mean, obviously, it's normal to be sad for a certain amount of time, but if you're sad for an extended amount of time, it's either like genuine chemical imbalance in your brain, or B, the more likely option, it's just you not choosing the right way to react. For number 3, we got discipline. Now, discipline and responsibility, a lot of the times they're kind of confused as the same thing. But for me, right, I'm not going by the dictionary definition of discipline because I don't really know what it is. But for me, discipline is things like making your bed, being respectful to people even if they're not respectful to you, treating everyone with kindness, knowing when to stop when someone says stop, knowing that no means no, knowing your rights, being disciplined, being a functioning member of society. Because I feel like when you're not a functioning member of society, like it or not, I feel like it's only natural that you would feel kind of lost and in life and your own head. So yeah. For number 4, I have health. This is both mental and physical, but mainly physical. In this case, obviously, I mean physical, but obviously mental health is really important too. But physical health, like, are you doing exercise? Do you have any hobbies that involve exercise, right? Like for me, I did jiu-jitsu a lot of my life. Now I'm more into skateboarding. I used to do surfing as well. Yeah, I'm looking to get into calisthenics or maybe the gym, stuff like that. So yeah, health. And I don't mean like pee, by the way. I mean like genuine health, and not just because of the obviously keeping your body intact aspect of it, because that is important, right? If you don't keep your body intact, you're gonna feel constantly tired. And then obviously that's not good. But it's not just that. It's the fact that when you're healthy, when you're doing sports, when you're doing exercise, a lot of the time the environment you're in will surround you by a lot of good influences, because if you're surrounded by other people who are also doing exercises and also have these hobbies, they're probably pretty good influences, and you can make some really good friendships along the way. So yeah, next up we've got gratefulness. Every now and again, whenever I'm sad, me personally, I like to write down a list of at least 15 to 17 things. I don't know why it's just such specific numbers. It's just, alright, I guess my favorite number is 17 is my favorite number. Just write down a list of 10 to 17 things that I'm very grateful for. Like, even the small things, like being alive, for example. The chances of being alive are already pretty small, right? Having food constantly, being able to get a somewhat decent education, right? Having friends, having parents, you know, stuff like that. Having a computer, because there are so many kids that don't have a computer. Having my own room. There's so many kids who share a room with 30 other kids, right? Just stuff like that. Having loving parents, you know, being able to take care of my little baby brother, living in a country that is not as corrupt as other countries. So yeah. Next up, second to last, we have stoicism. What do I mean by stoicism? Literally just stoicism. I think practicing certain concepts of stoicism within your life will objectively make you happier, because when you practice stoicism, the opinions of other people don't fully disappear, because obviously the opinions of other people will always be important, right? If someone says, dude, like, your hair is not good, like, you want to pay attention to that. Maybe they're not insulting you, maybe it's actual advice, right? But a lot of the times, obviously people are making fun of you or they're judging you, and with stoicism, I feel like you really concentrate on yourself, and you have there's just numerous benefits to that. And finally, to me, the most important one, acceptance. Accepting that you don't have to be constantly happy. You don't have to be constantly sad either, but it's not healthy to think you have to always be happy. Sometimes you have to be sad. It's yin and yang, happiness and sadness, death and life. It's a natural human emotion. And honestly, if you've never been sad in your life, that's just kind of fucking creepy, and you should get that checked out. I feel like a lot of the times, people just don't realize that the reason they're sad is because they've been happy for so long. They need to experience sadness at some point. It's just a natural human thing. Does that mean that you should stay sad for months on end? No. But you can have bad days, maybe even a bad week. Fuck it, maybe even a bad month. But that doesn't mean that you're objectively a sad person. It just means you're going through a rough time, and that's okay. You need to learn to accept that and move on. So yeah, thank you guys for listening, and see you guys next time. Or I mean, I think the next video is going to be Drive Me, but I don't know. Right, see ya.